As the flesh, or what you could consider flesh, I guess, of these werewolves begins to re-knit itself, in a manner of speaking. Spider has righted itself. The landing on the floor seems to have cracked its exoskeleton just a little bit, right across the top. You're able to see a slight purplish white tinge, liquid, be able to start seeping out of the crack from the top. And that's when it erupts. What emerges from the top of this spider, something like a skeletal mass. If a skeleton was maybe that of a tree. So it's got long branching arm-like appendages, but almost branch-like with the fingers. With a somewhat head-shaped appendage. As it slowly starts to solidify, it still continues to seep this purple ichor that this area seems to be made out of, but tinged with the white tendrils of the fungal infestation in the area. So, as this thing emerges from the back of here, Stig. Actually, Kalmir, quick question. Tremere still have a heartbeat, correct? Their heart still beats.
Yeah.
Sig, your ability to hear Kalmir's heartbeat and the heartbeat of Jimmy begins to fade. As if your ears are being filled with cotton. Everything else you can hear perfectly fine. Kalmir.
E.
The world in your peripheral mage sight begins to darken and dull. Those signs that you are used to seeing at the edges of your vision are slowly fading away.
That doesn't sound good.
It speaks. We are host. Magian. Contagion. New life. New sentient. You should. And with that, the werewolf closest to you, Kalmir, moves. But it's not the way you move. Not the way you've ever seen anything move. Instead of one step, then another, it's almost like the fungal strands are launching themselves to the location and it's pulling itself across the strands repeatedly. It's not any slower than normal movement. That's just how it seems. What is your defense?
I believe it was, yes, 5.
Also, you're gonna figure out. I found a way to have things at least look somewhat correct. -5. Hopefully, you'll understand the stat pool that I roll here.
Oh, I see.
That is 4 lethal damage, which I'm pretty sure doesn't get through your mage armor.
No, it doesn't.
As this thing reaches out with its claws and strikes at your shield.
Comes close though, so it's like it scrapes across like an inch away.
However, the others follow suit.
Mm.
So at this point, your defense is going to progressively get lower.
That's how it works.
This is going to be bad. No.
He's just gonna keep rolling.
Ooh, 5.
5. I do have. That would still block.
That one shaves a little bit of your beard, in other words. Good. That one gets through.
That one gets through the mage armor. I do still have Aegis on, which is another 5 general armor. Basically hardened clothes.
Okay, so that's 1. 5. And now that these guys just roll at base. One gets through him, but doesn't get through your Aegis. One more. Four, 5, 6, 9. Oh, no, I have one more. Right? That's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Ooh. My goodness.
You were still technically tagged, however. One did
Yeah.
hit. Or 2 hit, sorry.
Yeah, 2 hit. So it'd be 2 bashing then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because these would normally be lethal. And it's at this point I need everybody within... How big of a range is this again? I think it's like 31 yards of this thing.
I'm just while you do that, I'm just imagining 10 werewolves all jumping on Kalmir at the same time. That's basically what this is, right?
More or less. They're not leaping, they're not initiating a grapple or anything. They are striking at you, so they're moving around you.
Okay.
And I don't believe Jimmy's within range of this, so Jimmy's perfectly fine. Everybody needs to take 5 slashing damage.
But why?
Something you're gonna have to figure out.
And it goes through bubbles and such?
It's not an attack.
Oh, it's this fungus around here.
So,
4, 5.
Seigheim, Kalmir.
What remains of the spider?
Everything. It's literally as if it's just the top part of the spider opened up and this thing came out of the top of the spider. So, I mean, all the legs are there. It's still, the spider's still moving.
I see. So the spider still appears like conscious.
More or less, yeah. Not hard to say a spider looks conscious, but you know.
Well, okay, it's not like slumped over and dead and, you know, this thing cracked out of its corpse or something. Okay. The wolves are all kind of jumping Kalmir.
He shot them.
They don't know that.
You know,
They do.
that's a fair point.
They exploded internally. How could they know?
Shot lightning at them, you said.
It was lightning effect, but it didn't come like directly across. It appeared on them.
Possibly, you know, the incantations and the hands gestures.
And also one of them was, the other one was face down in the dirt.
Okay, well, we are a bit outnumbered, and I acknowledge this. Seigheim is going to attempt to fulfill the one other objective of this expedition of acquiring some kind of sample here. Now, the spider appears to have quite the large thing sticking out of it, and while that would probably be the best sample, it is probably not the easiest one to obtain right now. So I'm gonna try to, like, the werewolves are circling him, right? So I'm gonna try to, like, whenever one's, like, on the kind of, like, the edge of this circling, I want to, like, run up and hack off a limb or a chunk of it or whatever and just take it and run.
All right. They still have their defense because of specific reasons.
What's their defense?
12.
That's what I was afraid of.
And you're using vigor, correct?
I have no choice in the matter, so I'm rolling at a minus what?
Minus 10.
Alright, so a minus 22, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Can I reflexively frenzy during this?
Yeah, you can frenzy whenever you want.
Sure, alright. We're going to willpower to reflexively frenzy to get more dice to this, to make it back to a minus 12 only.
So, as you frenzy. Oh, where? I had to look up something else, so now I've lost what I needed. No, wait.
Oh well.
No, here it is. As you initiate this, some of the spores that hang in the air turn blood red. At this point, I need you to take the humbled condition.
What's the humbled could do? Sure, you got it, boss. Don't know where that is, but I'll take it.
Humbled is on page 304 of Vampire.
Open a new tab.
Your character has felt the touch of the divine and trembled. She feels unworthy and wretched. For as long as this condition lasts, suffers a -2 die penalty to resolve rolls and may not regain willpower from her requiem.
Okay, don't make any resolve composure rolls. Well,
Like,
unfortunately,
you're riding the wave.
I still need to attempt to ride the wave, so...
Isn't that a resolve composure roll?
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately. That's okay. Alright, we will resolve composure here real quick as we go into frenzy just to see if we have control. It's at a -2. I mean, we don't have complete control yet, so we still have just the original objective that I've outlined for frenzy of steal a hunk of this werewolf and run away with it.
Werewolf?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he switched targets.
I reckon they're easier to probably cut apart than the spider.
Probably.
Yeah, no, just a humble guess. Okay, so strength weaponry at a -12 plus. Okay. I can't spend any more willpower this turn, so I guess we'll just spend Vitae to make that not a -12 anymore.
As you spend a point of vitae, remember you have to spend an extra point.
Yep. Now, wait, do I spend an extra point or do I just lose an extra point?
You technically lose an extra point.
Okay, so I'm spending 6 Vitae to make it a flat roll, but I'm technically using 7 total.
Yes.
Alright, I can't wait to miss.
Not bad.
You've got 7 damage. Nice. Do you want to convert that damage into arm rack? So essentially taking the arm.
Sure. Yeah, that's the goal. I'm not really focused on killing it, I'm just focused on hacking off a chunk of it. So
All right. The blade cuts clean through the... It's not flesh. It is literal, just fungal strands at this point.
okay. I will grab it as I chop through it and make my way towards the exit.
Kalmir.
Yes. So there's a lot targeting Kalmir right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alright.
he's gonna cast a spell. It's called Shadow Flesh.
What does it do?
It turns me into shadow. I'll have a 3-dimensional shadow appearance. I retain all my attributes and skills, but I can't take any physical actions other to move, but I can still cast spells, and I'm immune to attacks or damage, but not supernal magic.
Okay, so please remember that your dice roll is at a -10 penalty.
-10! Alrighty then.
And are you spending... Oh, you'll have to spend a point of mana to do this.
Pourquoi?
Or not spend a point. You just have to sacrifice a point of mana for this.
I see.
And
Is what it is. And how many ands you got?
There's a lot of caveats.
some of the spores that hang in the air, some of the ones that are still white, now turn absolutely pitch black as if they are holes in into nothingness. I need you to take a condition.
I haven't even done anything yet.
You're casting magic. You have done something. You have done enough, so to speak. So, what is it? Ooh, hold on. Let me make sure this is what I think it is. This is in Dark Eras. This dread power is... This combination of dread powers is a little,
Insane? The
rough.
word you're looking for is insane.
Rough. This is on page 81. Not. It tells me page 81. I go to page 81, and then there's no conditions on it. It's like, really? Oh. It's a condition. It's got to be at the end of the book, right?
They usually are near the end, yeah.
They are not at the end of this. I can give you what it says in the
What's the condition called?
unclean.
Unclean!
The definition in the Codex of Darkness is a paradox has turned your magical tools and methods against you.
And is it Dark Arrows or
Yeah,
like Dark Arrows 2 or?
It says it just says DE page 81, so I'm assuming that's just Dark Arrows.
Yeah, it should just be page 81, but
I'm not seeing it there.
Yes, it doesn't exist.
It is. It's just not a. It's not a fancy block. It's still there though.
Where
it's
is
on
it?
81.
Oh,
Like
it is?
middle right of the page.
Right of
Twisted magic lays bare the sorcerer's failings to the point where her tools and methods abjure her. They represent what does it actually do? You lose access to one of the following Yanter categories: action, place, or tools. You gain no benefit from this category and senses a magical miasma blocking her ability to use them.
What's your favorite tool?
The cane.
You lose access to that.
All right. Not using it in the spellcasting right now, but still.
You're like, that's a problem.
But can I cast my spell yet?
Yes.
So automatically lose a mana, minus 10 to the pool. So I still got 7. So we'll just do a simple roll of 7. Haha! One success! Whoosh. And Kalmir turns completely black and shadowy.
All right.
And that's his turn because, it's just... Oh, there was, in watching, with a Tremir's visual abilities, do any of these werewolves have souls?
Yes, they have souls, but it is completely and utterly corrupted by plague.
Don't want it those then, no.
Jimmy. How goes your fanciful flight? There we go.
Fanciful.
oh, as well as it can be in the races.
Are you still running in a straight line straight out?
Basically going back from wherever we came, yeah. And yeah, I will.
There isn't going to be a whole lot that comes in between you and the portals, so you can make it straight to the portal and to the other side, back into the material world, as it were.
For sure, yeah.
You exit the portal into the control room of meat flesh, of meat moss.
Well, I'm not sticking around to.
Where are you heading?
Well, I want to find those wolves, to be honest with
Well, you know that they had also set off to do their tasks. So,
None of them stayed behind.
no. They hunt as a pack.
Even that one?
The one in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
If he did stay behind, you don't know where he stayed behind at.
But I'm out of the.
You're out of the shadow, yes. Still middle of the night as well.
Yeah. Can I get the sauce?
The what?
Stargate. The meatball. Is that right?
Yeah, you're still in the... Well, if you actually went out looking for the werewolves where they were, that would have been the TPA Park pool area. So, if you actually did go looking for them,
Okay,
that's where
yeah,
you would
I
be.
will head back out there, if anything.
Stated, nobody's around. It's still the middle of the night. However, all the desks and stuff that they had brought in there still sit. Papers.
Yeah, I'll look through some of those.
Not a lot that, unfortunately, you already know. There's their crudely drawn map that they have of the area. There's one piece of paper that does draw your eye. While all the rest are more hastily scrawled notes, this one is written with a very careful hand. And it's a list of currently 16 names. You don't recognize any of these names. And the handwriting is what drew your attention first, because the handwriting's quite a bit different than the rest. And then that's when you notice it's not on your standard notebook paper. It's on much sturdier paper, very clearly like that kind of cardboard type paper that you see at stationery stores. You see the design. You see the
250 GSM.
You see the designs, and you see in very lovely calligraphy up at the top, in loving memory of.
And that's printed on the...
Yeah, in like the gold
The paper
inlay
itself.
designs, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll grab a piece of paper from anywhere and a pen, and I want to make a copy of that list of names.
I'm not going to make you roll. I mean, making a...
Roll for writing.
this,
Dramatic failure. The paper catches on fire.
no, this is essentially, what is it called, an etching? Where you just take the pencil and go over it to catch the lines?
I can do that. Yeah, I was just going to look for a piece of paper and like write them down as they are, like just copy the names down. Yeah, because if I might not know who they are, but someone might, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't take you too long to do that. You're completely undisturbed. The night air is somewhat chilly, but it's not windy or anything.
Once I've got that, what's in here?
You are interrupted.
Oh,
A relatively pudgy man sits up at the top, legs hanging down into the pool, where the pool would be, looking down at you. He wasn't there when you first came. And you're not Wolf.
very.
You cut out there.
Oh, a very astute observation. No, I'm not.
What brings you here then?
Some of the wolves, as you say, thought we might be a bit of a solution to a problem. The nature of the problem was maybe a little bit understated, though.
Roll me perception.
Four.
You notice two things. You notice a slight skin writhing in this individual. The skin seems to move. And you hear the chittering and the squeaks of rats. Yeah, wolves can do that, I'm afraid. Myself and a few of my compatriots are aligned with the wolves. Well, some of the wolves, or at least were.
A lot of them didn't seem too comfortable with the idea of outsiders coming in.
He slides down. It's kind of a sloping area, so he kind of slides down it, landing somewhat gracefully despite his robust size. We are not as much of an outsider as, let's say, someone like you. We have similar origins, distant past. Our feelings on wolves is mixed. Most of them, honestly, scum of the earth. There's a particular few who, while we are not allied with them, certain concessions are made, and we will work together. However, they unfortunately perished already.
So I said, they're done.
Well,
Sorry, does he mean the wolves? The wolves, or
the wolves that he aligned with is what he's referencing.
okay.
Or that he was aligned. At this
So
point, that the chittering gets louder, and you start to see rats looking over the edges of the pool. And we're not talking about 1 or 2 rats. We're talking about 30, 40.
Friends of mine used to have pet rats when I was a kid. Very smart.
We like to think so.
Which raises the question, just who exactly are you then?
How much of the problem do you know?
Well, the world.
The problem that the werewolves are dealing with. If you know enough, that makes my explanation a lot quicker.
I sound pretty well informed.
You know of the spiders.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes my definition of what we are much quicker. We are the opposite of spiders. Spiders seek to build up. We seek to tear down. We are the same. 2 sides of a coin. Wolves. The coin metaphor breaks down here. Wolves are another side of that.
So whose side are you on?
We do not side with the wolves. We do not side with the spiders. Both are detestable.
Well,
Broke up again. Sorry.
I think I would be inclined to agree.
So, I feel like, and at this point, he steps forward, and you can really see the writhing underneath his flesh. He pauses. Feels like we have something that each other could assist with.
Quite possibly. This.
So, we make treaty pact.
You don't want to go around making pacts with people like me.
Some would say the same about us.
What's the terms?
That note, we're switching back. So, to booking it.
If he's got his arm and he's running away, then Kalmir's not going to stay and fight all by himself.
My objective at the moment is take the sample away, and I am running away at 23 speed. So
23 speed. What's your speed, Kalmir?
10.
Space. Space!
Well, 10 speed. Oh, you're using celerity to boost your speed?
No, it's boosted based on my frenzy. It adds my blood potency to my speed.
Okay. And you already paid for your blood or your frenzy, so it's all good. So 23 speed is well
Whoosh.
and dandy. However, I have a 20 speed and a 17 speed here. So, Kalmir, you're intangible. For
Yeah.
how long?
Until I feel like it. Because the main spell factor is duration, so I get -0 dice to max duration, which is a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, until I feel like it.
Okay. After a few attacks that fail, they stop chasing. By that point, the arm of the individual that Seigheim dismembered has already completely grown back. And you heading back the way you came?
That seems the path that Seigheim is going as I'm losing sight of him.
Seigheim, you will very clearly get there first.
Yeah, I mean... I presume at some point Frenzy probably drops and I go back to regular mundane 13 speed, so...
The distance you still put between you and Kalmir.
Yeah.
You wait in the Moss control room.
What is the arm doing? Is it like trying to fight me or something, or is it just kind of a limp piece of fungi? Like,
Yeah, it's a limp piece of fungi.
he, whatever. However you want to say it. I'm going to wait. I'm gonna wait in the shadow. Like, he's kind of hesitant to take this out of the shadow, considering how much the wolves hate it. And he's kind of like, I mean, I can just sit here with it, and like they can bring their testing equipment to it, right? Like that's what he's thinking. So he's gonna sit there for a little bit and see if anybody actually returned. See if Kalmir lived and came back this way, or see if he got here before Jimmy did.
You did not get here before Jimmy.
Well, he doesn't know that.
I know.
You know?
I'm
As far as I'm aware, I ran a lot faster than him.
We're also fighting.
Yeah, well, he could have gotten lost. I don't know.
Kalmir does show up in the next few minutes, though. Looking a little bit winded. Not really.
Not really.
He's a living shadow.
Can't know what I look like. Wonder if I can still talk.
I doubt you could produce sound because it says you could nothing physical and sound is physical, so.
Makes sense. Well,
Gonna have to drop it.
yeah, if Kalmir's pretty sure that they gave up, seeing as how they couldn't hit him and they couldn't catch Seigheim. So yeah, he'll drop it and okay. Well, here's two of us. Where's Jimmy?
He broke formation. Who knows where he could be? Could be dead. I stopped here. Kind of like, outstretch this fungi arm thing, and they wanted a sample. They have a sample. Now the scientists only need to come retrieve it.
Yes, we should get in contact with them because I don't want to take that back into the material plane. Not yet, anyway. We'll have them look at it here. This seems a large enough area for them to do something with it, at least. I'll go out and make a call because I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. You have more of a tolerance to its effects than I.
That briefing claimed it was more contagious towards this dimension, this place, not us, but who knows? Go retrieve the scholars.
Kalmir will walk through to the portal, pull out a phone, and make a call.
Who are you calling?
Who are you gonna call?
Has to be said at least once.
Has to be, yes. Who was it
Fungus
that?
research.
Yes. Who was it that dropped us off and was kind of the liaison for here? Professor?
Professor, I think, yeah.
Professor was the one that wanted the sample.
He was, okay.
Cedric was our werewolf liaison.
Yeah.
Who
Cedric was
neglected to mention half the details.
Figure it out as you go. Come on.
Yeah. All right, so he'll call the professor. Remember the professor's name?
Owen.
Owen, that's what it was.
Kalmir.
Owen, we have your sample. It's safe on the other side of this portal. If you want to get a team down here to have a look, that's your prerogative. We'd rather not bring it back on this side quite yet.
That's difficult. I don't know what sort of changes the shadow might do to my equipment. I understand your concern. I will have to talk with the wolves to see the ramifications of bringing equipment there. I know nothing about that area. So I would rather, confer with experts on the area.
A fair point.
Is everybody okay?
I am okay. Seigheim is okay. Jimmy is nowhere to be seen.
When was the last time you saw him?
At the entrance to a infinite cavern full of fungi and infected wolves.
It's at this point that you realize you're on three-way call. You hear Melina's voice. Infinite cavern. Fungi. Okay, that's it. I need some materials. You hear her do some muttering, and then you hear the word. Go ahead and roll me perception, actually, to see if you hear a specific word here.
Alrighty.
That she mutters.
One success.
You hear the word, fissionable material.
Okay, well, I suppose that could be a solution. I couldn't speak of the ramifications on this side, but you know what? That might work. Yeah, you do you.
I'll get back to you as soon as I get more solid answers. You hear a hint of exasperation in Owen's voice.
So, Shall we just leave it gift wrapped on the other side of the portal?
See, now the story you told me is this thing walked away from, as a part of itself, walked away from the battle.
Indeed. We'd rather not leave it untended.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sitting here on our hands does no one any good. So if you could make a decision soon.
don't have the data. Get the data. You're asking for something that I need information to be able to do. Information, unfortunately, requires time.
You can get that information by getting someone down here to take it for you.
I'll let you know once I have something. The line goes dead.
If you weren't so useful in other areas. So then, Kalmir's gonna walk back through the portal and relay to Seigheim. Well, they're deliberating. We can't leave that thing unattended, because it's likely to walk away and start some trouble on its own. Seen it before. So, we'll have to stay here. Someone will have to stay here and watch it. I don't know where Jimmy is. I might go and give him a call and see how far he's run to. See if he's not too lost.
Also, at this point, I should also mention Seigheim and Kalmir. Seigheim, you can hear Kalmir's heartbeat just fine again. And Kalmir, your peripheral mage sight has come back into focus, as it were.
Ooh, okay. It's no more muffled and black around the edges.
Then we sit here, hold vigil, and wait for their decision. We're underground. I do not know how long the night has left.
You feeling hungry?
Is that really a question?
A question, I suppose.
Always, but there's nothing to hunt here in these tunnels. But we could sit here until day. Even then, perhaps through day. Who knows? Does the sun rise in an infinite tunnel? I'm not sure.
The portal's technically outside of the tunnel.
Oh, okay. Like, are we actually on the surface?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And it's you're where essentially it is a reflection of the material world.
Okay, so we're in like a rotting government facility spirit.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, I can always take a few steps down there.
Very well. I
We'll
will
find our routed companion.
see if he's not too lost. And he'll, step back again through the portal. And see if Jimmy is within cell range. There are some places that have no cell reception, so...
Jimmy,
You know,
back to you.
being lost is my
That's your thing, yes. That was the point.
thing.
So,
Lost beyond all hope.
we are willing to extend assistance with spider problem. Should you extend assistance with wolf problem? Or do you have other terms?
Call me once burns. Yeah, once burned, twice shy. To be more specific, just saying, very vague. And one thing life has taught me, especially with my personal is uncertainty never benefits anyone.
We cannot promise complete eradication of spiders. Just not something that's within the realm of possibilities. Can't do it. Can promise to help locate and destroy significant spider threats. Wolves are concrete, tangible. More concrete, less vague. At this point, it's went from 50 rats to probably about 200 rats now. Some of them are sliding into the pool. So you have some rats that are scampering around your feet. They're not making any aggression or anything. They're just scampering about.
So you want the wolves gone?
Want spider and wolves gone. Mutually beneficial pact. We help each other get rid of one thing both of us wants gone. Get rid of another thing that one wants gone. Or maybe two. You didn't seem fond. Or propose new bargain. At this point, your phone rings.
You might well take that.
I have all the time in the world. Picks up a
Yeah, I'll
rat.
answer.
And as you pick up the phone, you watch as the human kind of unhinges its jaw and it shoves the rat down inside.
Yeah.
Kalmir?
Oh,
I'm just staring at him. But no,
Well, since I got through, I assume you're in the material plane and not some other place. Thanks for letting us know.
yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Yes. The two of us are fine, by the way.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I thought you might have some sense.
Yes, even I'm not so arrogant as to think I could take a god alone.
Well, met someone.
What was that, sorry?
Someone who at least I've met someone.
Oh, okay.
Just to put the phone into my shoulder for a moment, then it's. You got a problem with my friends join us? Call them my advice.
Long as friends,
Advice
not
counts.
wolves.
No. I'll let her come find me. Got someone with a proposition. Interested to get your side of things, but like I say, as you know, I've got a thing for bargains.
Very well. Where are you? I can join you shortly. Seigheim.
I'll let Kalmir know exactly the location.
Seigheim needs to remain behind for guarding purposes. I'll meet you shortly.
Yeah, no rush.
Are you actually walking there, or are you gonna teleport?
How far is it?
I mean, you can certainly walk there, but it's a long walk.
Wisdom.
Yes.
So let's come down to this: teleport and get a wisdom roll, or walk and get a patient roll. I don't know. Well, that would just regen my willpower, which I am already full of. So, yeah, I'll just pop up right next to him.
Give me the wisdom roll.
All right. It's just 9. 2 successes. I so wise.
You appear in the bottom of the pool next to Jimmy.
Oh, I hate it when you do that.
Rats swarming around your feet. This very rotund individual in front of you. Skin very clearly squirming with something under the surface.
Lovely. Oh, I see you found another host. Interesting.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of the Contagion Chronicle, The World Plague, the conclusion to the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, what is this plague that invades both body and mind?